Once again, it's the champion. He has the highest win rate on. There's the Jax ban. We expected this one. I don't think we're going to see Jax sneak through in any of these phases. And Nidalee, the final ban. But a quick pick once again. This time, Alliance locking in that Kha'Zix.
So insta-lock Kha'Zix. Once again, denying it from Cyanide. It'll be the third time this weekend that Shook has run this Kha'Zix. He ran Lee Sin yesterday, as well as 2 games on Kha'Zix. It's a smart, safe pick, but I do want to highlight that Ziggs is still up and available. In the previous game, Fnatic banned Ziggs away from Alliance. So if Fnatic wanted to go that route, they could. If they wanted to lock in the likes of Illusion, maybe an Elise at this point in the game, maybe even take that Rise away if they wanted to. There are options here for Fnatic.
We'll see whether that sticks with them. Lucian is available, and it seems that Reckless wants to get that one locked in. Lulu has been picked up. We'll see whether that's going to be for Peke or Yellowstar, because Yellowstar has played it in the past.
Or Soaz. I mean,
that's very true,
Soaz has run Lulu in the top lane. So once again, you've got this very first lock-in where you don't know whether it's going to count of picks. In the previous game, Soraka was locked in, you weren't sure on the lane, and now all of a sudden, you've got a similar situation.
They can do the same again, you know, with the Lulu instead of Soraka.
It is definitely a possibility. The early game laning from the global power of Wish is somewhat weaker. So, you know, that option is not available for them. And knowing that there's a Renekton potentially getting locked in also makes it more difficult because of the junglers that they were dealing with in the previous game. Elise needed to commit really heavily to get kills. And if somebody was chunked down, they could just get healed up. So that execution ability was less impactful. So we'll need to see if without that heal, if it's still a viable option for Fnatic.
One thing I know after watching Fnatic for a very long period of time is they don't like to do the same thing over and over.
No.
They like to keep things fresh. They like to keep their opponents guessing. So I expect to see it changing around. Renekton and Nami have been locked in. We saw Nif on Nami yesterday to great success. But Renekton for Wicked. It's a champion he's not had great stats on in the past.
No, not really. He has played it 6 times this split. This will be the 7th game that he's played it. He's won 3, he's lost 3. So, you know, read into it what you will. But what I do like about the combo, when you lock him in with a Kha'Zix, you do have some good dive buddies. They can work together when jumping into a team fight. You combo that with the move speed that Nami's going to be giving them from her passive and a strong tidal wave. It also allows you to disrupt a strong team fight. So if Fnatic do want to go for that heal shield comp that we just seen, there are some tools to get around it. You know, you can slice and dice through champions. You can hold Fnatic in place by a well-placed tidal wave. And yesterday, Nif did play Nami and had some very good tidal waves of his own.
We're seeing whether Fnatic do stick with it. Janna is being hovered over. There's Elise. Could kind of be the same job, not quite as deep as Kha'Zix could dive. And there is Janna locked in. That means that Lulu is either in the top or the mid lane.
I'm expecting that to be a top lane Lulu. Support Janna, from what we've just seen, it was very effective. Because of the changes to heal, removing the Ignite healing debuff, if anybody on the side of Alliance runs that Ignite, you can use your Summoner Spell heal to remove the debuff and then channel your Monsoon for full effectiveness. So that is something that can save you and help you out in these team fights. Also, because you're seeing Soaz running Summoner heal, potentially for the 2nd time, I am anticipating that to be a Lulu. We also have seen Red Team counter-picking the mid lane so often. Remember, LeBlanc is available if they want to go for a burst type of position, or they could just run Kayle again, you know, go for the same style of composition.
Well, if they're trying to go for the same style, they're going to be up against a lot more burst damage this time around. If that Ziggs gets locked in, along with Tabs on Twitch already locked in, there's a lot of burst potential. The Kha'Zix jumping in, the Renekton diving on you. A lot of burst could come out this time around from Alliance. Let's see what their final pick is for Fnatic.
I think if they go for a Kayle now and they go for the same composition, I think it's going to be a mistake. I would like to see an Assassin. I'd like to see high damage because they've got survivability with both Lulu and with Janna. They've got options to kill people. And the reason that long sort of drawn-out team fight is going to be much more difficult against a Ziggs is he's just going to poke you down with bouncing bombs. He's going to zone control you with a minefield. And if anyone ever does get a little bit low, he's got his Mega Inferno Bomb. You combine that with Renekton and Kha'Zix jumping into your face, and I think that is a one-team fight for Alliance. We've got a fairly traditional comp on Alliance's side, and we'll see what Peke locks in.
Yeah, I'd love to see or hear what Alliance were saying there, because body language tells you everything. Every single one of them. The moment that Zed got selected, everybody sat back and sighed because they feel this one could counter them. We'll see if it works out for them. It hasn't been locked in just yet.
You see, part of the reason for that, if Zed ever gets to a position where he can split push, there is nobody on Alliance's team composition that can deal with the Zed 1v1 when he gets to that point. So when there's enough damage on Peke's side, he's going to be able to control the map, continually push the waves. And as we've seen time and time again, the moment Alliance commit resources to dealing with him, whoever it is that's going to go and try, keep him locked down, Peke is either going to kill them or the rest of the team is going to grab objectives. So now you've got a map play advantage sitting in the side of Fnatic. I do, however, like the tower defense situation from Alliance. If they're in a straight 5v5, Ziggs is very strong in that position, but Zed obviously offers the same power with his shadows and all of his AoE.
Well, we'll see how this one goes. Previous matchup was very much in Fnatic's favor, even though we were wondering whether Alliance's team comp had the ability to drag it long.
So the reason Alliance are shaking and whatnot, once you hit the 20 seconds on the clock, champions are meant to be locked in. You're not meant to be allowed to swap. And I believe in 16 or 17 seconds there, they did just get that loss off. It was going to be a Renekton jungle Kha'Zix top. So we'll see if anything comes of that one. But at the end of the day,
might get ban taken away if Alliance get through.
They might. It is in the rule books. It is quite clear, and you've seen immediately Wicked responding, going, "Oh, shouldn't have done that one." But at the end of the day, I think this game is now all about the early game for Alliance. They've got very strong champions early on: the Ziggs, the Kha'Zix, the Renekton. If they can get some map control and prevent Zed from getting to a power play position where he can split push and become this very map-present threat, that is Alliance's way to get in this game. They can't afford to let it go late, because defending a tower with Lulu, with Janna, is going to be quite safe. You've got knockaways, you've got knockups, you can defend 4v4 or 4v5.
Well, we'll see how this one works out, ladies and gentlemen, as game 2 of the semi-final gets underway. We are in the spring split playoffs. Remember, Fnatic were the champions in 2013 in spring and summer, and don't forget, of course, they got that 3rd place at the World Finals. They want to be the team that represents Europe in these All-Stars, and can they beat that team? Who knows? Alliance are in their path right now, but they are 1 game down. Alliance starting out as the blue team, up against Fnatic as the red team with that 1-0 victory. The pressure very much is on Alliance.
Yeah, I think for Alliance right now, a strong start in the laning phase is crucial to controlling Fnatic. Once again, there are tools on Fnatic's side to mitigate any damage that comes down. You do have a Wild Growth, you do have a Howling Gale, and your Monsoon, rather, that will help you out. So we'll see how execution goes out. Fnatic, once again, they're grouping up at level 1. Last time they had a very successful level 1, stealing away both of Alliance's buffs. We'll see if they get the same sort of situation this time.
So we are seeing Fnatic potentially 5-man push in towards that blue. They're effectively defending off their red, but they are leaving their own blue very much open. They did a sneaky tactic, remember, in game 1, taking away both red and blue from the enemy jungle. This time around, we'll see whether they do that. They got 3-1 buffs last time. And that was a big advantage for the start for Fnatic.
Yeah, it's quite funny, because when you get those buffs early on, yes, it is a strong start for the team that gets them, but it's slightly more about denying your opponent. It's slightly more about slowing your opponent's jungle down. And, you know, because Shook was on Elise and he didn't have, you know, the super early levels, and it was in 2v1, you know, there wasn't really gank opportunities, but nevertheless, it got in his game, got in his face, and he was the one that gave up the first 2 kills. I mean, you can't deny the fact that Fnatic were the ones that got an early advantage.
So we saw the ward that was purchased by Nif. That's been placed in the river. Looks like a monitor issue, but looks of it for SOAS, the way that the referee's poking the monitor there. I believe you have to press the button, generally, to turn it on or off, not like monkey style beating it.
Get a hammer, it works. Depending on the...
It's going back to the Zoolander, how do you internets? That's what I was thinking of there. If you're not sure what I'm on about, Google it on YouTube. You'll see it. It's a great clip.
I think the way we're looking at the minimap right now is fairly standard. We're not seeing the makings of a lane swap. Got to be a little bit careful because I don't want players to hear, but I mean, because Fnatic are still grouped up as that sort of 5-man, we need to see where they decide to go. We need to see what the game plan is, because late invades has sort of been a thing. It's a little more commonplace in recent weeks.
It'll be interesting to see if Fnatic get there. I mean, they've got 2 French players on that team. So if they do get to All-Stars, you heard Yellow Star, you know, what it talks. I'm talking about what it meant from... I know for a fact, SOAS, he's a very emotional guy, very tied into these games, absolutely loves winning, hates losing with a passion.
Like everyone, I guess.
Well, I mean, like everyone, but the fact that you'd be doing it on your home soil is a big, big thing.
The thing as well is when you look at SOAS, when Fnatic were losing and they had that heavy losing streak, you felt like it hit Soaz more.
He took it upon himself. It was like a personal
Fnatic.
insult.
He was very outspoken. He was very disappointed in his own play. And I think him more than anyone else in the top lane was complaining about the meta, complaining about the champions that are being played. So I'm excited to see him pick up the Soraka. I'm excited to see him pick up Lulu. He didn't have the greatest of success earlier in the split, but you know, there was great control. There was great decision-making in the last game. Maybe they've stepped up their performances for the series.
Well, I mean, he played the Lulu at Katowice, I believe, in the top lane as well, to not good success. No. He was demolished on it. So
yeah, he was camped and he dived once or twice, but again,
that was against the Kazakhs as well.
It was. So, you know, there are tools available for Alliance if they want to try and punish him.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting back into the game, and they are underway. It is the 1 minute 55 mark. That's when the blue buff spawns. And Wicked already spotting out Fnatic there and keeping well away from this one. Doesn't want to get caught out like he was yesterday by the Copenhagen Wolves.
So part of the reason that these invades are quite successful and you see teams grouping up is if you want to initiate a lane swap, you can send your duo lane with your jungler to go and invade your opponent's buff, and it ends up working in your favor. You'll notice that both Tabs and Nif moved all the way up to Fnatic's blue buff and placed a ward down. Cyanide and Soaz have been super cheeky. They're denying even more buffs from Shook, and this is the same thing that Soaz did in the previous game. Soaz turned into a mini jungler for the first couple of minutes of the game to prevent losing anything further.
Well, let's see whether Fnatic stack those 4 members in the top lane. They could try and push straight down onto them turrets. Cyanide peeling off towards the red buff, so he's not going to join them. Soaz is going back up towards that top lane there, so it looks like it's going to be a 3-man, maybe pushing into it. Let's see whether he goes off towards the golems. It looks like he's going to peel that way. Meanwhile, look at Alliance. 4 members all going down the bottom. They're going to secure this blue buff to start with. Remember, they took the bottom 2 turrets in the first game.
Yeah, very quickly, like before sub 5 minutes is when they managed to secure that. When we look at the games that we've seen this week so far, Fnatic's 2v1s have been significantly superior to any of the other teams that we've watched in the LCS. Gambit had absolutely no idea how to handle Rocket. Yesterday, we even seen Alliance falling prey to the Wolves' decision-making. Now, even though Alliance are going to get this first tower quite early on, I do feel that it should be evened out by that top lane. We'll see how quickly Reckless and Yellowstar can even it out. No one else from Fnatic is pushing that tower down.
They're going to drive it down. Soaz had to back off. He took the golems down. Didn't hit level 2 though, and he's actually waiting to buy. He's gone for boots in that top lane, so we'll see how it works out for him. He's going to be trying to defend out that inner turret, but Alliance is still pushing. It's going to be 3 members of Fnatic. They're a long way from taking this turret down though, and Alliance, they're almost on the inner.
I think we're going to be seeing the same situation that we've seen from the previous game, with Alliance getting 2 towers to 1.5 maybe for Fnatic. They're going to get this top tower down very shortly, and if Soaz sticks around a little too close, he's been bubbled.
He's been caught out with the Aqua Prison. Tabs did try and follow through, got the slow down towards him. That's enough for Soaz to back away from that one. Top turret's gone down, bottom turret about to fall. It's going to be 2-1 in favor of Alliance. Fnatic are slowly backing away from this one. We already see Cyanide recalling, which means they're not going to do a great deal more damage to that top inner turret.
So it's quite interesting. Fnatic have opted to go for the jungle buff secures and lose the additional tower. In both of the games this series, Fnatic have, secured a jungle advantage by taking buffs away from Shook at the expense of losing a turret. Soaz previously jungled a little bit more to gain some more experience, but it does look like Wicked is going to be in range of this tower to at least defend it in a moment or two, and there's not much kill threat from a Janna support lane. With that slice and dice, you should be able to get away.
Yeah, he's got only a 1 level difference. This mid lane, we didn't get a chance to look at it much, but you can see Froggen has been bullying out Peke. He expected there, he's got that range advantage early on up against this Zed, but he's going to be careful because now he knows he's not so safe. The junglers are now disappearing in towards their own jungle. They're not visible pushing those lanes, which means he's going to be a little bit cautious, as they may well be looking to jump on him.
Yeah, and of course, this is the first Ziggs that I've had a chance to talk about this week. It is 4.5, so his attack range has been marginally reduced, so just a little bit less in your face, and we do see Froggen got mana. I think Cyanide, it was an opportunistic gank. At the end of the day, Froggen has exhaust, he has flash, and he had that satchel charge, so he needed to land everything perfectly, and Cyanide's just going to push the wave, get some lane tax. I think extended lanes now. Until teams start deciding to rotate for dragons or maybe for invades, we should see straight matchups.
Oh, Shook's going to get some damage down on towards Cyanide, pounces on towards him, gets a good voice spikes. That's going to be Froggen jumping across, he's going to repel across, gets caught by the rubber ducky and bounces straight back into the race, has to flash away there. Good damage and good control. Froggen did burn his flash and exhaust though.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, Summoner spells somewhat advantageous for Fnatic because it was one flash for a flash and an exhaust, but wow, that burst from Shook. He melted through Cyanide's HP bar with just a couple of spells. So if Shook ever finds Cyanide in the jungle alone like that and gets some damage before the little spiderlings are out, all of that isolation bonus damage is going to work in his favor, and that's something that Cyanide needs to be very, very careful about.
Also somewhat precautionary for Froggen, the fact that the exhaust was used. They are just about to hit level 6. Peke, who has just gone back to base, got himself that build water cutlass. He'll be looking to try and take advantage of that one.
Yeah, Peke's been playing very safe in this mid lane. He's just picked himself up a bunch of CS, but he was about 20 down before that wave, now 12. I think it's expected. It is, of course, the lane matchup. Almost steals the big Wraith. He's got a Shook.
He's going on towards it, pots the ultimate down, needs to get a bit more damage though. He's not quite getting enough pop. Yes, he will. Got on towards him, got another slice on towards him, and that was enough for the ulti to pop down, and first blood for Peke.
That was great decision making from Peke, and just unfortunate for Shook. I mean, he was going for the Wraith camp, and there's very little that you can do against that. Instant reactions from Peke. He just hops straight over the wall, had more than enough damage to grab the kill, and ends up once again securing first blood on Shook in the semi-finals.
Absolutely, fantastic stuff. So, Tabs in this bottom lane, all very equal against Reckless. We'll see how this Twitch turns against this Lucian. Lucian, of course, being a very successful champion so far in the playoffs.
Yeah, it has been very successful. It's one of the trifecta AD carries. And I think if you take a step back and look at your minimap, once again, Fnatic have got superior vision in the early game. I talked about in the last game and how many wards Fnatic buys as a whole, and etc, etc. The river and the entrances to the red and the blue buff sides of Alliance's jungle are littered with Fnatic wards. So this is a great position for Fnatic. The moment Shook stepped across that ward, he was instantly pinged by Fnatic. So they've got a lot of information to work with, and that is a testament to the fact that Reckless and Yellowstar are playing so aggressive in this bottom lane.
Oh, Aqua Prison's going to land, but Tabs is not having any of that though, and they realise that it's going to be Cyanide coming down. So as it's coming around the side, Glitterland's available, catches on towards Nif. He's in all sorts of trouble. The Cocoon lands, Wild Growth being used. They want a double kill here. They're going for Tabs. Soaz tanks up the turret. The Howling Gale does not quite land. Soaz is taking a few too many tower hits. And with Shook nearby, they back away, but it could be a dragon.
Yeah, they don't have the Wild Growth, so keep that in mind. If anybody from Alliance wants to challenge, the Mega Inferno Bomb is available from Froggen, and there is vision in the pit. So if they group up, that could be a steal opportunity. It looks like Alliance want a taste of this one, but it would be a 3v4. Fnatic wisely, I think, back away. They didn't want to run the risk of being confined and hit by that large AoE damage.
Yeah, so as a very juicy target there. Mega Inferno Bomb, jumping, unseen threat from Kha'Zix, pouncing on towards him. And don't forget, Twitch was there as well, so he would have put some damage down. Very wise, Fnatic back away from that one. Blue buff does go across the Peke though.
Yeah, I want to highlight just in that teleport gank from Soaz, how well played it was getting a double knockup. Yellowstar's basically dead, doesn't have flash, he's going to get caught.
Yeah, he's in all sorts of trouble. That's going to be a kill for Alliance. Or will it? Yes, it will be. No doubt about that one. Shook's the one that
Alliance
picks
Dragon.
it up, and that is going to be an Alliance Dragon.
So that's just a poor positioning mistake from Yellowstar. We talked about how much vision they had and the decisive and decision-making, and that is just a straight mistake on this side. Peke's going for Froggen.
Peke's going in, but I'm not too Froggen's too worried about this one. He had his exhaust back available and just drops the Mega Inferno Bomb on his head.
Completely outplaying Peke. I think Peke underestimating the cooldown and the timer on that exhaust. Now Alliance with a nice swing and control. They've grabbed themselves Dragon, they've got themselves 2 kills, and if they stick around to this next minion wave, they're going to get this tower as well.
Yeah, 5 members of Alliance all in the mid lane, all ready to push on towards his turret, and really the only defense at the moment is going to be Yellowstar and the jungler Cyanide in there at the moment. He's not going to be able to keep him away from this one. Tries to use that shield, it gets taken straight down. You cannot stop 5 members of a team pushing your turret this early.
A very, very good turnaround for Alliance, and it all stems from that one mistake that Yellowstar made a few moments ago. There wasn't enough vision in the bottom half of the map. I think Yellowstar misread the situation, decided to go and try clear out the pink ward in the Dragon Pit and get some vision down himself. From him going down, Alliance have grabbed themselves a 2,000 gold lead. They've opened up the entire bottom half of Fnatic's map. If Alliance ever want to contest a blue buff, they've no tower for Fnatic to fall back on in that bottom half of the map. So it's a very smart play, and we talked about how important this laning phase is for Alliance. Their champions have the ability to get ahead early, and they're busy making it work.
Well, it's a 20 CS advantage for Froggen. There is a disadvantage in the bottom lane. Reckless is doing a great job farming. No surprises there. The All-Star #1 vote, and honestly, the Phenom coming into this one, we wondered how he'd handle the pressure coming into the LCS. He certainly did fantastic, getting MVP in that Super Week. Shook taken very low by the blue buff there, but he didn't give that blue buff across to Froggen.
No, not this time round. Froggen does have about a third of the cooldown on his blue himself, but I want to touch on that in the previous game. Because of the focus from Alliance to get towers, it also cost Tab CS. This is 2 games in a row where he's been behind at CS at the 10-minute mark. And, you know, Reckless did a pretty good job. Yellowstone and Reckless have now found themselves on the bottom turret. Cyanide snuck by, but if you look at the positioning, Shook is aware of it. So I think it's going to be a little bit difficult if they're looking for a dive.
Some great pressure in this mid lane, but Soaz is going to come in there. Got some good minefield down there. Already used the satchel charge, remember. Now he's going to use the Mega Inferno bomb on himself, but this time the Wild Growth should be enough to take him down. Now in the bottom lane, Tab's getting dived on. Cyanide putting the damage down, followed on by Reckless. Reckless trying to pull some punishment onto the tower. Cyanide could pounce on towards him. Shook's going to come around as well. Can he get on towards Reckless? No, he plays it safe.
The sides against it. So 2 quick kills for Fnatic in the mid lane. Pekka and Soaz just outplaying Froggen. A 2v1 setup with that Wild Growth. You see Wicked, that's quite aggressive. He's looking, he's flashed.
He's flashed on towards it and forced Pekka to flash away. And you got to wonder in the last fight, was that a miscommunication? Did the top laner Wicked not communicate and say, hey, buddy, my top laner is completely missing right now?
Yes, I think so. If you look at the vision, you know, Soaz walked all the way down. Oh, they're looking for Nymph.
Oh, they're going to repel in there. Cyanide gets the cocoon out. He does manage to get his wave out. His ultimate was enough. He got the heal on himself. Nicely done, Nif there. Just steps away. Very confident play there. Had flash available, didn't use it.
Yeah, quite smart. Even though Reckless actually stepped out of the way of that tidal wave, because the other 2 members were slowed down and the damage couldn't be applied, he managed to get away with his life. I want to touch on the build from Wicked a moment ago. He is dealing with Soaz in that top lane. He's gone for a Bilgewater Cutlass as his first pickup. And traditionally, we see aggressive Renekton's go for the Hydra into Tiamat build. The fact that he's going for the makings of a Blade of the Ruined King, this could be a testament that he maybe wants to fight Pekka for a little bit longer, have some more upfront damage, more on-hit, etc. Less so about split pushing. And also, if he does get to Reckless on the back line, it's a little bit more kill threat. I mean, you know, Tiamat and Blade, they're obviously going to do a lot of damage. But I just think the sticking power of the slow is going to benefit a little more when you're trying to hunt somebody down as a Renekton than the splash damage of that Tiamat.
Well, at the moment, we are seeing this bottom lane once again. Jungler's moving towards it, but we're going to see Cyanide spotted out by that pink ward. We have got Shook sneaking in. Unseen so far, but there is a ward in the river. He's going to get spotted. Ooh. Did that just run out? I think they spotted him. It ran out just as he walked towards it. That was just unlucky timing by Shook there.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. Cyanide and Shook once again sort of reading a similar situation. They want to gank on the bottom line. And it does look up in the top lane. Soaz, he's actually flashed in there for Wicked.
He's going for it. He's going for it. Pekka is caught. Mega Inferno bomb catches on towards him. There's the exhaust. One more bomb. He has to be accurate with it. Well, it was in his face. There was no doubt about it. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Soaz took down Wicked solo.
Yeah, trading just 1-for-1. That's actually a very interesting matchup. Froggen has definitely played this Ziggs into Zed matchup before. He's still winning on CS, and every time Pekka's picked a fight, I actually think Froggen is outplaying Pekka more than the other way around. Froggen is using his exhaust effectively, as is expected in this meta, considering the change. Now, Soaz does have Wild Growth, and look at the damage from that health picks. He's just going to run Wicked down. I mean, Glitterlance is not going to let you get away.
The minion wave as well was doing a hell of a lot to him, and he just gets caught down there. Soaz continues on. Glitterlance, no problem there.
Even got the exhaust.
Even got the exhaust. Oh, very close. Had to force the Wild Growth out, though. But that ultimate's on a very quick cooldown.
It is on a very quick cooldown, and considering the changes to exhaust, it reduces attack speed by a smaller amount. It used to be 50%, now it's 30%. But the most important thing is damage reduced is down to 50% now. So against assassins like your Zeds, it is much more effective. And it's something that I know when Deficio and I were talking about it upstairs, he's a fervent believer that exhaust is such a hard counter to assassins. And it's working in Froggen's favor. Every time Pekka's jumped in, that exhaust has been very useful, and it's only when Pekka's had the support of Soaz that he's been able to actually 1v1 him.
And it's always a ticking time bomb for a Zed, a case of when the Zhonya's hourglasses get built, when those Guardian Angels come in, when even the cleansing, the QSS maybe get picked up by tabs.
So on that note, Peke is going to start transitioning to the map presence, the map play. You'll notice Peke has already gone to start pushing that top lane. Alliance have got timer and control of the dragon, thanks to very good vision, and Fnatic are nowhere near this one. This is going to be uncontested, and another dragon for Alliance.
Yeah, because Peke has gone towards that top lane. He wants to start pushing in. They've already moved into the split push mode. That's what they need. And we'll see what Alliance do, whether they try and counter this one, whether they try and three-man stack. At the moment they are. Remember, they put pressure on towards that bottom turret very early on and took it down. So this duo lane pairing of Reckless and Yellowstar are quite far off unguarded territory. Well, Wicked is going to stop Peke in his tracks. That turret will be safe for now.
I'm hoping this matchup sticks for a little bit longer. I'd like to see how Wicked deals with Zed. He's got... he's got a little bit of additional MR, which isn't going to help him against Zed right now, and he's gone for that Bilgewater Cutlass. So it's an interesting itemization on the side of Wicked. Because he's picked up that MR, you could start theorizing, well, maybe Sora's made the call to switch. Hey, he's itemized against me, so Peke, why don't you go try pick on him, try find some kills, and we'll see how they work it out.
Peke is just waiting off the side. He wants to get Frog, and the moment this blue buff goes on towards him, he's looking to go towards him. He's going to wait. He's going to play it dangerous game, and he realized, of course, that the fact that Tabs and Nif were nearby is not going to go for it. Alliance, they're four-man stacking. They may get closed in on, but they're going to push the mid-turret.
I think Fnatic want to try and surround them. You'll notice Yellowstar still hanging around the sideline. They do not have Reckless with them. There is a number of Fnatic pings on this mid lane, but this is going to break out to a 4v4. Teleport is available, so he's not going to need it. Peke, he's going to look for a target.
He's going to dive on towards him, but he may get caught out here. There's no exhaust available. There it is, just come back off cooldown. The second they go for it, the wave gets caught down there. Yellowstar with that Monsoon, just enough to keep them at bay. A lot of damage, though, from Alliance. And remember, Wicked wasn't even involved in that fight yet. He's making his way down now.
Reckless still has summon a heal. We'll see if it's effective.
There goes Wicked, flashes on, catches outside. Shook pounces on it, and Wicked gets himself a kill. There's five-man pushing towards this inner turret now. The minion wave is not with them. They're going to have to tank it out if they want to go for it.
That was fantastic play from Wicked. He flashed directly over the cocoon, managed to land the stun onto Cyanide. Now the minions are not with Alliance just yet. They need to buy a little bit of time before they can get onto that inner turret. Wicked instantly going back up to the top lane. He wants to push that tower down. From that one kill, Alliance may grab themselves 2 towers.
The cooldown, it was actually Nif's exhaust. I didn't notice that one. I was waiting. Wicked's and Froggens were both on cooldown the moment that fight started out, but Peke was expecting that. Didn't get caught out by the timer. Does take a lot of damage. Them bombs are starting to really hurt Peke. This top turret is going to go down to Wicked.
Oh, I actually think he's going to play this one safe. So at the end of the day, no towers gained by Alliance. The wave clear from Lulu and from Zed down the line melts that minion wave. And even though Froggen was landing some very good poke onto the members of Fnatic, Alliance didn't overcommit. They didn't stick around in that lane longer than they needed to. The chase potential from Fnatic is actually very high, with the slows from the Glitter Lance, the slow from Janna, plus a knockup. Had they stuck around, had they bit off more than they could chew, Fnatic could have turned it around on them. So at the end of the day, Alliance grabbed just a single kill and some damage on both of those turrets, but they are in a good position. They're still holding on to that lead.
Yeah, it has drawn Reckless away from the AD farm for a short period of time. You can see he's a long way ahead of Tabs, but Tabs himself has been trying to get involved. Mega Inferno Bomb thrown to the blue. It is not there.
No, not this time round. Not the end of the world. He's got his blue buff on himself. Does have that Athena's Holy Grail for some cooldown reduction, so Froggen doing well for himself. 2-1-2, I think he's still farming very well. He's extended that lead over Peke. And you'll notice how Fnatic have transitioned their vision control to very defensive now. Because they've lost 3 towers themselves and Alliance have been playing very, very aggressive, all of Fnatic's wards are now to mitigate the risk of being flanked or being caught out. So I think it's quite smart play from them. But again, we're just waiting for this point where Peke can pull threat towards him. And once Alliance show their hand trying to shut Peke's side lane push down, all of a sudden I'm expecting Fnatic to try to explode on that middle inner turret.
Well, Peke is going to keep on pushing. He's got Tabs and Shook closing around him here. Spray and Pray was not used. Actually, yes, he was. He pulled it at the end there. Very early usage by Tabs. They wanted to try and catch Tabs out. Wanted to hope that Peke would go aggressive, using a pink ward to make sure he doesn't get snuck up on by Tabs.
Yeah, I think for Peke, if he gets into one-on-one with Tabs, Tabs will die. And Shook and Tabs need to really jump on him super, super quickly to get a kill. we do see that Yellow Star's going from the silence. This is going to be 2-1-2, and they're going in.
Stealth comes in towards him. Wicked joins the fight. Peke quickly gets straight out of it. Tab's not carrying down him. The Void Spikes do land. That's going to slow him down. The rest of Alliance are closing in. They're coming down the river. Peke's running straight towards them. Headlong in towards Froggen. Yellow Star getting caught out. Peke's in no man's land, waiting for his living shadow to come back up to try and get away from this one. Yellow Star caught out. Shook goes down. Back up towards Froggen. Froggen trying to recall. Nobody's gone into the bush. Everybody's left him alone. He's got out of there.
So cheeky. He gets away. Now, we talked about this. The moment Alliance commit resources to going for Peke, Fnatic pick up a tower. I thought it might have been mid. It was, in fact, top lane, and that is exactly what Fnatic will be doing. Alliance still haven't responded necessarily. They're pushing bottom lane, while the rest of Fnatic are now on the inhib turret.
This is an AD carry and a top laner pushing on. They got a lot of damage on that turret already, and that next wave is coming in. Froggen finally reacting. That Mega Inferno Bomb doing wonders. But look at Alliance. They're trying to take that advantage. They're trying to push the top.
And because the wave clear from both Zed and Lulu is so incredibly strong, if they can time it correctly, it's going to take a big committed investment from Alliance to get onto Fnatic's towers. It's why Alliance have struggled to get these next few towers taken down in the last few minutes. The wave clear is very strong. I do think that Fnatic are just going to try rinse and repeat the same process. Every time Alliance try to stop that split push and stop Peke from farming, they're just going to try pull a trigger and go for an objective. Dragons respawning, again, I'm not expecting any sort of contest now. Alliance have got better positioning, better vision control, and are better groups.
Yeah, they're going to be all over that one. It's another Dragon for Alliance, and that keeps the gold in their favor. Still very close. Peke coming in to see if he can try and maybe force a flash out, but both of Alliance's Shook and Wicked have the ability to move through those walls. So, what are Fnatic going to do? The pressure on them this time around. They do still have that 1-0 advantage, and as you say, they're going to push for that mid tower. Froggen doesn't have Mega Inferno Bomb. They've just been caught napping here.
Yeah, they really have. Froggen struggling with his own blue buff. Soaz is about to find out. Doesn't actually interrupt them, but yeah, Fnatic are going to grab that tower, and they've jumped on tabs as well.
Gain, Peke getting caught out though. The exhaust goes down. There's another slow. Wicked's going to try and use the slice and dice through the minions to try and gain ground on towards him. Flashes in there. Teleport comes out. Soaz is going to join the fray. He's going to try and jump back on towards him. Spray and pray coming out of tabs. The Glitter Lance catches on towards Wicked. They're going still deep on towards this one. The rest of Fnatic are going to try and rotate down towards this bottom turret. Alliance have to back away.
I'm not sure the flash from Soaz was worth it. They didn't get the kill, but it did force both Wicked and tabs away. Thanks to the teleport and the support from the rest of the team, they're going to grab themselves another tower. So even though Fnatic lost a dragon earlier on, it gave them positioning to get the mid outer turret and the bottom outer turret. I'm not expecting a fight from Alliance now, even though they're trying to find something. There's too many members of Fnatic grouped up.
Yeah, they had the vision, they had the wards, and they spotted, it's not one single ward, it's around the back of the red, always catches people out. We do have a pause, ladies and gentlemen. So let's regroup. Where is the game right now? 5-5, you can see, all squaring kills. Gold, just 1,000 between them, and still just one tower. Alliance have had the better share of the Dragons, though, but it is a very tight game. It's Soaz once again. He's having a reboot, it seems, of the client.
We'll see how quickly he can get back in. I think Alliance have been in a good position, but they need to be smarter with when they deal with Peke's split push. That's twice in a row now that there's been resources committed to Peke that has backfired for the team. Two separate occasions where Fnatic have been able to get a net gain even though they lost something in exchange. And I think for Fnatic's composition, because they have safe wave clear, because they have champions that are, I'm going to call it like near impossible to dive under a tower. You can't dive a Lulu, you can't dive a Jan. It's so incredibly difficult. I do feel that Fnatic will just play this turtle game and let Peke go do his own thing. And then the moment there are opportunities, they'll try snitch them and grab them where they can. Because like you already said, the moment QSS is picked up, the moment Hourglass is picked up, there's much as kill potential from Peke on anyone on Alliance.
Now, at the moment, they are just going to change the PC that Soaz is using, so they're going to make sure they swap it out, obviously give him time to get his setting sorted out. That means we are going to have a smallish delay here. And I also want to talk about that pick and ban phase. We said it, we mentioned it at the time, that change came too late, and it does mean if Alliance win this game, they will lose a ban in the next match.
So it was too late. That's very important considering how difficult it is to ban out Fnatic. So any of the options that you may have are now going to be reduced. We are swapping out Soaz's PC, so while we're doing that, we've actually got a replay of the First Blood. So let's pull that replay up onto your screens right now and just play this one through it. I think Fnatic have had very good moments. Their decision-making has been solid. I quite like how they're playing the split push. but Alliance have also been very, very solid in their play. So I believe the replay is actually ready. So let's grab that one up onto your screens. Let's roll that clip through right now. And you'll notice that Peke is spotting Shook out. He's actually found himself in a position where he's gone over the Wraith camp, has managed to jump in, and just very good reaction time, finding Shook. Very good decision-making to realize that he had enough damage. And, you know, for everybody at home, I haven't done it yet. Hashtag LCS big play.
He died very quickly there as well.
He did.
I noticed that. It was just the end of it. Just the end of it. But he would start out in the push there. Straight away, use his ulti. And it's Shadow Strike, the E?
Yes, Shadow
I
Slash.
can't remember which one it was.
Shadow Slash.
He'd got just put 1 point in towards that. And that was what did the end damage. And then his ultimate, boop, straight away popped him out there. So again, Shook going down to first blood. This time around, he has got Kha'Zix. What do we make of his Kha'Zix so far? He's got himself involved. He's, what, 2-1-1 so far in terms of kills and assists. And this is a champion that both teams have first picked in this match so far.
It's a very strong champion because it scales very well. It gives you a lot of threat that you can make use of. We've seen very early on when Shook ran into Cyanide in the river, he just melted his HP bar. You know, just melted through with that taste of fear. So I think Shook on Kha'Zix has been more impressive to me than his Elise game previously. But I do think his Elise was a little unfortunate. He gave up 2 kills that I feel a bit bad calling him out for, but it was, you know, a little bit over-aggressive, just a little bit out of position, and Fnatic happened to collapse on him very, very well. This time around, it's only been the 1 death, which is the one that we did see in the replay, that first blood. So at the end of the day, his Kha'Zix is very solid.
Yeah, very solid play. The mid laners, they've been very solid, Peke and Froggen, running very different tactics, honestly, but Froggen seemingly outplaying Peke's Zed so far.
I would say he is. I would say he is. Every time we've seen Peke jump onto Froggen with that death mark and trying to get some damage down, Froggen, his timing is exhaust well. He's making sure he's landed, I think, every single Mega Inferno bomb in those duel situations. And the only death that he has given up was when Soaz was there to help out with the Wild Growth and Glitterlance. And then you're like, well, what am I going to do anyway?
Well, we are back into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Soaz back loaded and going aggressive straight away. Glitterlance is catching Wicked out. Wild Growth popping him in the air. Peke comes in with the damage. Wicked is in all sorts of trouble trying to get back to the turret. One more hit from Soaz takes him down.
A lot of time. Now here comes Shook on Soaz.
Shook trying to catch on towards him. Remember that Wild Growth not available. Pounces in there. One more hit from that unseen threat. The Mega Inferno bomb going on towards Peke. Peke taken low. He's going to get dealt with by Ziggs. And anyway, Shook going to get jumped in there. He doesn't care. He's not got minions with him. He doesn't happen though. He's going to go try and get juked around, but it's very hard to keep Shook away from him. He's going to have the leap available in around about 7 seconds time. He's going to give up on it though.
While all of that was going on, the rest of Fnatic were barreling down the mid lane. They were trying to get some presence on the tower. It didn't work out in their favor. Peke is like a ninja playing the ninja. He did it at Intel Extreme Masters World Championships by juking everyone on Cloud9, getting away. He did it here again now. Tabs does secure the top lane tower as Yellowstar is going to get himself some experience as Reckless gets all the gold.
Well, an explosive return back to the game there. They must have been sat thinking about that one for a few moments. Alliance pushing in towards it. Remember, they couldn't communicate anyway between that one. They all did that simply the moment the game restarted. Go, go, go. We got to go for it. Alliance, they try and push back in towards that mid lane. It's going to get cleared out, no problem there. So as back alive, respawning. Remember, we're only at 24-minute mark here. It is still quick respawns.
Yeah, very, very short respawn timers. Well, I like the fact that Soaz has been very mobile this game. You know, he's roaming an extensive amount. His teleport helped Fnatic grab some kills in the bottom lane earlier on. He's ganked twice now for Peke's lane, and he's been successful at it. He's 3-1-1 on this Lulu, and we talked about how he had been shut down previously when playing top lane Lulu. So a very good start to the matchup. I still think that Alliance can outscale and can win this game based on their composition because of the power of Ziggs when defending and attacking towers, in conjunction with the great damage that Tabs is going to get down across the entire team of Fnatic. But in order for Alliance to do that, they need to control Zed. They need to control the map and the minion waves, because as long as Peke is pushing, Alliance are at risk of losing their base behind them to the backdoor master himself.
Froggen is starting to build up quite a lot of damage right now. Ravenous Death Cup completed along with that Void Staff and of course the Athene's and Holy Grail, which is almost the bog standard start item for Ziggs. Peke laying in wait, this time to go for Wicked, but Wicked with that Warden's Mail and of course those boots, he will be able to get away from Peke quite quickly. Shook was already making a move down towards that bottom lane though, just in case.
Yeah, so Wicked is definitely showing a tendency towards these boots of mobility, boots of swiftness rather.
Boots of swiftness,
That's the word I'm looking for. it's going to reduce the effectiveness of the slows, which I actually think, again, is fairly smart. Lulu slow, Zed slow, Janna slow. So Merc Treads may not have been the best option in that scenario. It is a little different, and I also like it again because it allows him to get to the backline. If Fnatic are ever grouped up as a unit, and Wicked, with the Blade of the Ruined King and the increased movement speed thanks to those Swiftness boots, he's going to get in Reckless's face very quickly and very early on. So we'll see if Wicked can make that work, because we're starting to, get to the makings of late game. Deathcap, Void Staff, and Athena's Unholy Grail has been secured for Froggen, so he is hurting a lot with those bombs.
Well, that pink buff is going to get defended, I feel. Yellow Star's not going to get some timing. Gets caught out with the rubber ducky, eats a bomb as well. That was undoubtedly easy stuff there for Froggen to just keep Yellow Star away from that one. Remember, Dragon's up in a minute. That's why they're protecting this one right now.
Yeah, and this time round, it looks like Fnatic want to battle for Dragon. They've got timer. They appear to be positioning a little more tight and knit in that mid lane. They have backed off to heal and pick up some items. I'd like to see Yellow Star picking up boots, because he didn't go boots for a very long time in that last game. I don't even think he actually purchased them at all. And that, to me, is a little riskier when you've got Ziggs bombs that you need to dance around and dodge.
Interesting conversation. I'd like to have heard what Soaz was saying to his team, because he was definitely moving to go for that gank and then quickly backed away against Tabs there. Remember, he's got that Rabadon's Death Cap now completed. He would have gone very close to Tabs. Tabs is actually fairly underfarmed in comparison to Reckless.
Yeah, there's a very, very big disparity. Because of the presence that Fnatic have had in the side lanes and pushing it down, Tabs has not been left alone. Tabs cannot run the risk of farming by himself deep, because Pekka is going to blow him up. So because of that added kill threat and presence that he needs to worry about, he's fallen behind. Now, we talked about how Fnatic wanted to challenge for this Dragon, but a minute ago it all started in that middle lane. Fnatic have got good vision, so they're going to be aware of Alliance moving in, but Alliance are denying it thanks to those sweeping lenses. There are 3 on the side of Alliance. If a fight were to break out, in order for Fnatic to win, Pekka is going to blow somebody up quickly, ideally Froggen or Tabs. In order for Alliance to win, they're looking for poke. And Alliance are looking to, use those bouncing bombs. Fnatic, they're going to split push instead.
Yeah, they backed away from this one. Peke goes straight down towards it, keeps those minions on towards the tower. And actually, Wicked kind of responding, realized that he's backed away from it. The calls come out, Alliance want to push him towards his mid-turret.
Yeah, and I think they should be able to get it if they tank the tower hits. The minion wave has been melted, but look how quickly Tabs is burning through that turret. We do see Pekka coming in from behind. He knows that he can't be spotted. He's sitting, there's no ward here, but he needs to cross a few wards to get to Alliance. So there's going to be a very small window of opportunity for Alliance to take advantage of that information.
Minion wave is on the turret. It's going to need to take a couple more hits. That shield's not going to be enough. They're going to take this turret down. They're going to get kept away. Peke going to come around with them. The rest of the team trying to close in there. But this is dangerous times for Peke. Peke is going to get closed in upon. He gets jumped in, pounced down. Ultimate used, but he just gets wrecked by Alliance.
Yeah, Shook and the rest of Alliance, we talked about that window of opportunity. They completely took advantage of it. Fnatic were not close enough to respond. Peke just got blown up, and this could result in inhibitor turrets.
Yellow Star getting bullied out by Froggen here. Throws out those mines, keeps him away there. Soaz needs to be careful. Tabs is on him. The slow goes down. The exhaust gets scoozed, but he has to flash out of the danger. Ward gets quickly placed across there, and the bombs continue to rain onto in towards them. Alliance pushing on towards the inhibitor turret. They may have enough to take this one through. Froggen taking a big burst of that culling. All of the damage coming out towards him. That's going to signal the retreat for Alliance.
Very, very good defense in a 4v5 scenario. Alliance peeled away to try and zone Soaz out, and yes, they got his flash. But I think if they had committed to the tower a little bit earlier and forced Soaz to run the long way around, that could have bought them a couple extra seconds to get some damage down on the tower. Regardless, they managed to get the inner turret, they killed Peke, and they've got themselves a dragon. While all that's going on, they also defended their bottom inner turret. Peke was trying to peel back to apply pressure on that, and it didn't work out.
Cocoon being thrown towards Wicked, very tight there, but does back away. Alliance are actually fairly low on mana. They're not going to get bullied out from this one, though. They are sticking around. Peke shows himself in the top lane, so they know they're not too fearful. Catching on towards Soaz once again. The flash comes out. Wargrowth had to be used. The poison tick not enough. And Soaz lives to fight again.
That's one of the things I love to see when you have a Tabs, when you have a Twitch on your team. Every Switch I've seen in the last week or two of games has used that ambush stealth very, very effectively when comboed with a burst from the rest of his team. Sneaks up on you, gets a whole bunch of damage and spray and pray. If he eventually goes towards a Blade of the Ruined King, can slow you down with that as well, and then just instantly deletes you from the map. Unfortunately, because Soaz had wild growth, that saved his life. But well played, and Tabs trying to find his way back in. He's still 100 CS down. You can't deny that is an immense amount of gold.
It is a big chunk of gold. You can see it on the screen though, because of the global objectives, the 4 dragons that actually Alliance have picked up. It looks big in items, but he's actually only about 700 gold behind.
Yeah, you are right. Because of the great dragon control Alliance have secured, this is working in their favor. Now, I want to remind you of the stat that we delivered just as the game was starting up. In every game Fnatic have got a Baron, they have a 100% win ratio when they've secured Barons. I'm not sure if that's stolen Barons or safely secured Barons, but fact remains. As we get later into the game, Baron is now going to be the objective that teams dance around. Baron is going to be very crucial, especially when you consider how much damage Kha'Zix, a damaged Renekton, and a Twitch have. I think they could burn through that Baron Nashor rather very quickly.
Well, Soaz is down the bottom. He has got that teleport, so the rest of Alliance are just going to group up. Tabs is actually the man that's off on his own, dealing with Soaz. He's going to try and sneak up on him again. Remember, there's no flash available this time around, but he does get away.
And Froggen was moving down the river as well, trying to get in range for that Mega Inferno Bomb. So they're looking for that combo. If it's timed correctly, maybe they can get Pekka as well, but it's so much riskier. Until Tabs actually gets a QSS, he really does not want to accidentally bump into Pekka, because I do still think Pekka will blow him up. With the Ghost Blade, Last Whisper, and a Blade of the Ruined King, that is so much damage. Pekka has got 2 additional actives that he's going to be throwing around, but look at the damage onto Yellow Star.
Yeah, Yellow Star keeps eating those bombs from Froggen. He's been bullying him every step of the way. Tabs again is going down towards there, and Soaz immediately backing away. The top lane, you can see Pekka is sticking around. He's going to keep on pushing here. Reckless again, using that culling, clears that wave out, no problem at all. But Alliance, they may well try and rotate back towards the Baron. They want to get vision of it. Pekka, he's going to back away. He's done enough, and he's stopped Alliance from pushing.
I really like, once again, the vision that Fnatic has. It's weird because it swings. They get a lot of vision, then they lose a lot of vision. They get a lot of vision, then they lose. This is a phase where they've got quite a lot. No Hourglass for Froggen. He was spotted going for blue. The rest of Fnatic are trying to move in on Shook, and Pekka's on the side. This could be scary for Alliance.
Pekka is looking to go on towards Froggen there. He's going to try and steal this blue buff away. He's got to be cautious, though. The rest of Alliance have rotated round. There's the rubber ducky going down. The slow catch is on towards Pekka. The rest of Fnatic getting close by. That Aqua Prison will not land. Tabs is actually moving up towards there. They're actually on the Baron right now. I'm not sure where they've started off. They have. And Fnatic have got himself position here. Alliance are a long way from this one. They have no vision.
This is very confident play. Fnatic feel they've got the vision advantage. Remember that Froggen does have the Mega Inferno Bomb. Yellow Star just playing a zoning game.
Baron
Baron's
down.
gone.
Baron down. Mega Inferno Bomb comes out. They're going to try and catch on towards him. Pekka's going to have to turn aggressive on this one. Living Shadow's already being used. He has to go in towards it. Wicked take him down there. The damage still coming out. They're trying to put damage across towards him. So much coming out from Fnatic there. That rubber ducky was vital. It stopped Fnatic in their tracks. They're going to cancel. They're not going to keep on pushing. Oh, they're calling. It's going to come in towards her. Reckless going full on balls deep straight onto this one. Tab's going to get caught out. He's going to use on towards Reckless. Has he got enough damage down? The cleanse comes out. Tabs cannot take him down. He got exhausted. Now the exhaust onto Cyno. Froggen gets in. He gets a kill. They jump on Yellow Star. Yellow Star goes down. It's a double kill. Soaz comes around the side. You're not cheeky enough. And Soaz is going to have to try and run away from this one. Reckless trying to go round. He fancies a triple kill here. Shook jumps on towards him. Shook taken so low. Another bomb would be enough. Soaz throws out the glitter lance. He takes down Nif. And Froggen is the last man standing. Soaz comes around. He's going to get the sweep and then... Oh my God! The bomb bounces back and Soaz goes down. What the hell is going on?
This was an example of how to bait your teammates into dying. From the moment Baron was secured, you've seen the flash being used from Pekka, or the shadow dash rather from Pekka, to get closer into the pit. That pulled all of Alliance toward him. Now, okay, so this is after Pekka's already gone down. Every single member of Alliance is retreating, and Reckless feels very confident with his culling that he was going to hit Nif a couple more shots. But because Reckless went aggressive, it pulled Tabs in. The rest of Fnatic decided to peel back into this team fight, and look at the damage from that bouncing bomb. You do have to touch on the fact that Yellow Star had saved Reckless thanks to the Mikhail's Crucible. And the summary of the next 30 seconds of this team fight, everybody stays overcommitted. Soaz comes whizzing in from the sideline, but his teammate's already dead. Now from the exhaust, it was like, okay, well this is a lot of damage in Soaz, let's stick around. Reckless is going to sneak himself in and find a kill into Shook, because Shook's like, hey, I've got support, I can pop him. Nope, not this time. And it's just every single member of both teams getting pulled and sucked into the extended fights.
I'm all right. It's all right, guys. Don't worry. I got this. I got this. So, Fnatic and Alliance, they are 11-10. The Dragon is spawning, but Tabs is nowhere to be seen. He's rushing for the top turret. The rest of Alliance, they're rotating up there. It is going to be the Dragon for Fnatic, but the rest, 4 members of Alliance, all pushing in towards that base. You can see the mid lane. They got Ziggs on the inhibitor turret. They're going to rotate towards the inner turret. Everybody putting damage down. Dragon's been taken. They're still recalling. They're a long way off getting involved in this fight. Peke fancies Tabs.
Yeah, very big advantage for Alliance. They should get this tower down. And considering the struggles that they've had to take towers over the last 20 minutes, I really like that play. They lost Dragon, but you will happily lose Dragon for those towers because Dragon will respawn, you can fight for it. What I do want to touch on, that should have been the first Dragon that Fnatic has secured if memory serves. It should be 4-1 now. And we highlighted the fact that every time Fnatic have got a Baron, they've won the game. I'm going to question that stat this time around because immediately after getting Baron, their whole team overcommitted. They chased so deep into Alliance territory that they lost Baron on 4 of their team members. Reckless is the only one that is still running around with that. And yeah, it's great to have at least somebody, but that advantage, that map play, that decision making, great to get Baron and then mediocre to overcommit.
Ooh, let's take a minute to take stock of the items because everybody after that Baron play, remember there is only one member, I think his Reckless is the only man standing with the Baron on him right now, of course, because everybody else went down. He's not going to make a great deal of use of that, but it's Alliance that actually fancy themselves the stronger. They're the ones that are doing the pushing. Peke once again off in that top lane. He's been told not to recall, it seems, by his team. We've got this. Cullen's available, can clear the way. Yeah,
because of the wave clear that Fnatic have, they are relying on Peke to just keep split pushing. He's got the hardest job though because he needs to get all the way down to this inhibitor turret. The vision that Fnatic have in the red buff area allows them to know when Alliance backs away. As long as they don't go through that jungle, there is information to work with. Peke has made it all the way to the inhibitor turret. There's no culling for this next defense, so pressure on Soaz and Yellowstar to get good line damage.
Well, Tabs is going to use that spray and play to clear the way. Tried to catch onto someone. Wicked going to get engaged upon. Wicked. Peke doing a lot of damage, but it's not enough. The exhaust comes out. The tower hit should be enough. No! Gets away with his life, but that means they're safe, and that means Alliance can keep pushing.
Small mechanical misplay, I think, from Peke, as well as not counting on exhaust. Exhaust is now down there, so at least if Peke rinses and repeats that in a few minutes, maybe he can make something happen. The rest of Fnatic defending, Bubble doesn't connect, but the tower is getting so low. Remember that Froggen picked up a Sheen a moment or two ago. He's getting closer to that Lich Bane, which will allow him to also melt through towers.
Big wave on the bottom, that's where Alliance look to be rotating towards. I think they're just going to take away the objectives en route though. Baron up in 2 minutes time, and for now, Fnatic have bought themselves a bit of a reprieve, a bit of a timeout as Alliance back away.
So I like what Alliance is doing. They have got this sort of attack damage Renekton with that Blade of the Rune King in there to try and deal with Zed. Even if he's winning or not winning those 1v1s, he's keeping him busy, which is protecting towers. While that is going on, the rest of Alliance is sieging. They are using the great position that Froggen is in. He's 7-1-2 on this Ziggs to make sure that Fnatic feels the pain with every bomb, and it's allowing Alliance to get damage with each wave on those towers. But again, we're now down to the most difficult part of the game, getting past those inhibitor turrets. And if Alliance don't read the situation well, and Peke manages to flank them or get a kill onto Wicked, for example, all of a sudden that's going to be an inhibitor for one team or the other. So we'll need to see how Alliance continues to play this game.
Well, with Peke trying to push that top lane, it is going to be Wicked. It seems it's going to be sent back there once again. He's got that Randy's Omen, of course, so feels that he can deal with him. Froggen now got the Zhonya's Hourglass. He has his weapon of mass destruction to stop Peke from taking him down, and at 7-1-2, he really is a key player for Alliance. MVP of the season we have given him, and I think rightfully so. He's trying to put another performance in for his team here.
Yeah, 30 seconds before Baron comes back up. Alliance are doing the right job of denying vision from Fnatic and setting up their own vision. They don't want Fnatic to rush down that Baron like Fnatic did, a moment or two ago. So we'll need to keep our eyes on that situation as it expands. But again, I think if I were in Alliance shoes, I would get vision and set up the siege. Force Fnatic to defend. Yes, they have great wave clear, but you have much more bouncing bombs. If you use spray and pray one more time, you'll get that turret. They got 70% of the HP the last time they attempted it.
If Peke shows himself in this bottom lane, I'm wondering if Alliance are just going to rush straight for that Baron. He's warding it out. He's expecting he's hoping, I think, that Tabs is going to come looking. That's what he's looking for. He's got that red pot running. but he's a long way away from anything. Alliance are not interested. They're just pushing straight at the mid.
I don't think Tabs will come at all. Tabs has been playing so safe this whole game. He's never really put himself in a position where Peke could jump on him, and it's always been Wicked that has responded to those pushes. Now, because Peke is going to be pushing the bottom lane, it's opened up Baron for Alliance. I want to touch on the fact that Rex is coming in here with those Fura boots. They are cheaper, and it's going to give him kiting power, which will be very crucial in this next team fight. Alliance are melting through Baron, so Fnatic, they need to steal. Pekka's going to get you in time for the fight, not for the objective.
Cynide's going to have to go for this one. He's got vision. He's going to have to repel. He tries to go for it, but Shook gets in. There's going to be a repel. Where's he going to go? The culling doesn't really do a great deal. Wicked's killed has Cyanide in that backside. Cynide's now going to get taken down. Tab's doing a lot of damage towards him. Peke goes in. He goes aggressive, but straight away gets exhausted and blown up by Tabs. Cyanide gets caught out. He gets pinned on the wall. It's a second kill for Tabs. Shook goes aggressive. Mega Inferno Bomb. The Howling Gale doing just enough. Shook with the speed boost of the ultimate will not gain on towards him, but it's 2 kills and the Baron for Alliance.
So much damage onto Tabs in that previous engagement. The Mikhail's Crucible and the heal from both his Summoner Spell and from Nami allowed him to just survive through the death mark. Peke did the right thing of trying to find the squishiest target, but it was too little. Alliance had already secured Baron. They're going to get this inhibitor, and if they want to carry on sieging, they've got some minions to work with under the turret. They're going to be hard-pressed for Fnatic to stop this.
26 seconds, that's the countdown on Peke and Cyanide. Alliance are going to keep on shoving in towards these Nexus turrets. It is Reckless they want to worry about, and so as trying to pincer them off the side there. They're taken down on health, but remember, they've got the regen from the Baron. They're pushing in towards there. Yellow Star taken low. They still keep getting pinked out there. The exhaust being used. That Nexus turret taken low. Here comes the minion wave. They should have enough, but they're going to back away. 3-second timer on Fnatic. They know that they're going to be respawning. They're playing it safe.
The culling was so crucial there to defending the Nexus turrets. Reckless was able to just melt the first minion wave as it moved up, and Alliance were tanking the turret the entire time that they were at that objective. Now that Alliance have grabbed themselves a Baron, they're going to peel back away, let the super minions do their work, grab a Dragon as well, and I'd like to see them just ward up the jungle. Ward up everywhere where Fnatic or where Peke in particular could move. Because if you know where Peke's movements are across the map, it's going to give Alliance the ability to just dive in. Peke no longer has freedom to split push alone. Because if it takes him 7 or 8 seconds to recall back to base before he can contribute meaningfully to a team fight, Alliance have a 5v4 where they can go for Nexus turrets or a second inhibitor.
And now, of course, Wicked with that Thorn Mail. He's happy to go 1v1 with Peke, I feel. But it doesn't seem he's going to be given that opportunity. So, Alliance in the driving seat right now. Still only a 3,000 gold advantage for Alliance. But with that Baron buff, with the seemingly big advantage they have in the team fights right now, they're going to be very confident. They're going to be looking to push.
I'm very impressed with how Alliance have played this game so far. They've played it very safe. They haven't overextended. I think every time Peke has looked for an opportunity, he pulled some resources towards him early on in the game, but not necessarily the greatest amount. Peke cancels his recall, but there are so many members of Alliance nearby, he immediately decides to back away. So minions, both the bottom and top wave, in favor of Alliance. If that big minion wave gets to the inhibitor turret, Alliance are going to be able to siege both the top and the bottom lane at will. Whichever they feel is more juicy a target, they're going to go for it.
Well, for a moment there, I wasn't sure whether Fnatic were going to try and set one of those baits, the likes of what Frog can push down the Satchel Charge on the Shadow, just in case. Just in case Peke fancied going in towards there, he would have eaten the Satchel Charge in his backside. As it stands though, it is going to be Alliance pushing on towards the turret.
Yeah, that was actually good damage onto Nif. Just from a single, Shadow Slash from his E, it put a lot of damage down, but Nif has already healed himself back up, so Fnatic are the ones they're going to continue sieging. Super minions are not in the base yet, so Alliance biding their time until the minions pull members of Fnatic away, either onto the turrets or to defend the wave. And as it stands, it's just going to be extended siege. Good position for Alliance to be in with this Baron buff.
Yeah, Reckless has gone across the deal with those super minions. He's going to be away from this turret for now, but again, it's good timing. No minion wave. They're going to have to tank it up, and Wicked's trying to do that. Oh, the Mega Inferno Bomb thrown out, so as does not get taken down, but he's going to have to back away to the fountain. Alliance are going to push in, try and take that advantage. Monsoon being used, everything from Fnatic to try and keep them at bay here, but it is going to be the second inhib turret going down. Second inhib will be focused on. big minion wave in the bottom as well, and the super minions, they keep coming up the mid.
Even if Fnatic wanted this fight, there are 2 exhausts available for Alliance, so the moment Peke jumps in, he's instantly going to have his damage reduced. Reckless gets a good culling, and they're forcing Alliance away.
A very good culling. Can they land a good cocoon on towards Froggen? They're trying to focus on towards him, but Froggen is continuing to poke. Wicked almost getting caught off, picked out by Peke. Reckless doing defensive duties, keeping those super minions at bay.
Yeah, they've held onto the inhibitor for a few seconds, but one more attack from Froggen is going to be enough. Soaz is still trying to look for something, but Alliance are just playing this really, really well. Their minions are pushing on the bottom wave onto the inhib turrets, and Alliance going to back away. Baron's now worn off. You're going to steal away all the jungle camps, spend the money that they've just earned, sitting on, a couple thousand on a few of the carries, and then just siege up once again. Super minions on the top lane, now they want to siege middle. And it's just League of Legends by the numbers now. Play it safe, get the remaining objectives, and then get the Nexus.
No doubt about that. No need to risk it for Alliance here. Remember, they are 1-0 down. They need to try and take this to the 3rd match in the series. And at the moment, it looks like we may go there. This is the semi-finals of the playoffs for the Spring Split. Remember, Fnatic are the champions, and the winner of this match will go through to the finals to face either SK or Roccat, who will be playing after this match concludes.
Yeah, the winner of the series, 1-0 for Alliance. We're going to go to the decider. What I like, though, is the boot enhancements that have been picked up. It's taken a lot longer for multiple champions to actually upgrade the boots. We touched on Reckless going the Fura. We've got the Alacrity sitting on Froggen's side, so he's got the additional movement speed. It also had a buff, plus 20. But what I like is seeing Wicked with the Captain boots. They are now cheaper in 4.5, and they are more effective. So it's been bumped from 8% movement speed increase to 10%. And considering how Froggen's been on the front line and how tanky he is, I think that is a super smart investment. It allows your teammates behind you to actually work with additional tools when dodging the cocoons, when dodging the Howling Gales, and trying to get away from Lulu. Minions in the top lane, and we'll just see it's just going to be a siege onto the turret again.
But this is a dangerous siege. That Baron is up in 50 seconds, and if Fnatic were to steal a couple of kills here, get a good pick, maybe on Froggen like that, they're calling doing damage on towards him, they have to be forced away. Nif instantly hitting the panic button, hitting that ultimate. With that Baron up in 30 seconds, this is dangerous for Alliance.
It is, but the problem I have, the fear I have for Fnatic is they need to get through 3 exhausts and a heal. So the moment Elise or Zed jump in there, that's a lot of damage reduction, and assuming Alliance don't waste their summoner spells and stack them on top of one another, in addition to the fact that an Hourglass is sitting on Froggen's side, as well as a Guardian Angel on Shook's side, there are so many things that Fnatic have to deal with before they can win a team fight. So they got good poke on Froggen, but it was by nowhere near enough to actually win a team fight and try to regain control of this game.
Well, we'll see how it works out. At the moment, Soaz, he's trying to get the poke on. He's trying to keep that minion wave at bay. Remember, the inhibitor has respawned, so no super minions in that mid lane. Top one will be up fairly soonish. Dragon's going to be in 30 seconds. Baron is up, and we'll see whether Alliance choose to go for it, or whether they just try and keep this pressure on Fnatic.
I think unless Alliance are trying to bait Fnatic towards them, I do expect them to just continue sieging. I think their champions do better in that scenario, and because they've got so many exhausts and heals, if Fnatic wants to get back in this game, they've got to catch Alliance out of position, not the other way around.
They're going in towards Yellow Star. Peke tries to come around the side, but instantly gets leaped on. Has to use that shadow to get away, and quickly countered. And Fnatic, well, what are they going to do here? Alliance have the position advantage. Fnatic are going to try and push mid.
So Flash is down for Peke. The rest of Alliance are trying to rush this Baron down. I think Fnatic may be able to get towards the inhibitor. They do have some minions to work with and a lot of damage. Yellow Star is just interrupting. They got the first tower and Fnatic back away. Not sure. I'm not sure if that was worth it. I guess they couldn't have won the team fight. I really think there are so many tools in Alliance's side to deal with a team fight from Fnatic. At least they got a tower. But in the grand scheme of things, maybe they should have poked. Maybe they should have looked for somebody out of position at the boundary.
I wonder whether they're going to fight at the inhibs or whether they're going to just hold off, accept the damage, accept the fate that this inhibitor will go down, and make sure they keep to the safety of those Nexus turrets. The culling comes out, catches a lot of damage on Tabs, but again, Mikhails comes out, keeps him safe.
Yeah, so Tabs actually used his Quicksilver Sash, and we did see a heal coming down from the Summoner heal. Mikhails is still available if the fight were to break out. That's a good cocoon on Wicked for good poke.
Good damage going down on towards him. Mega Inferno Bomb, quick reacting. Shook's taken low. Peke goes in. It's Tabs he's focusing on towards, and he's going to get the rest of the team. Tabs out of position. Peke goes down as well, though. Shook still stealth out the side there. Jumps on towards Reckless. Soaz gets caught out. He goes down. Froggen's the one that keeps to the kill. Shook taking all the damage. He's got the Guardian Angel available. The bombs ricochet through. Reckless one-on-one with Froggen. Sonya's Hourglass comes in. Shook gets in there. Clean up duty is done by Alliance, and it seems they will be going to Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Alliance will take down Fnatic here finally in this semi-final matchup. It has been good control. Cyanide is not done yet. He's desperately trying to hang on for his team, but the Nexus will fall eventually.
After it's all said and done, Exhaust wasn't even used by Wicked. Alliance played the team fight very, very well. They used their locker well, they used their crucible well, and I also like the fact that every time a threat jumped in there, they used the exhausts pretty effectively. Tabs went a little too aggressive. He went a little too deep for my feeling, but at the end of the day, it pulled so many members of Fnatic towards him that all of the damage from Froggen and from Wicked was enough to close out the team fight and get the Nexus taken down.
So, Alliance counter